Good morning, students. I, Afrin Sayed, welcome you all to the virtual class learning for the subject Social Science for Standard 7. In our previous class, what we have saw the importance of the subject social science, why the subject is very important, why one must study, and why we should gain the knowledge about the subject. Since being a social animal, being a part of the society, when we should be aware of what is happening in the society, and by studying social science we get acquainted with all those things and we get the information about our social environment. So one must take interest in social science and study it properly because it is about us only, we the human being, what are the changes happening, what had happened, what is going to happen, and what are the natural things, and each and everything around us we come to know about by studying social science. Now today what we are going to do is we are going to do the revision of the two lessons which was done in the month of April. The two lessons are, one is from geography and the another one is from political science. The lesson from geography is our environment, and the lesson from political science is on equality. So first we will go through geography. In geography, the lesson name which is there, it is our environment which is there. So in environment lesson, first of all, what is environment? Recently, on 5th June, it is celebrated as Environment Day, and you all must be doing some activities related to environment set by your teachers. So you all are performing the different kind of activities like planting a trees, decorating the house with the best out of waste, something you are making, you are recycling the things in a proper manner without harming our environment. So this way you were all were doing the activities of the Environment Day. But actually, what is environment? So what is environment? What we see around ourselves is all about environment. Whatever the things are there, it's all are a part of environment. We human beings, the animals, the plants, the living, non-living thing, whatever things around yourself, if you observe just now also, all are a part of an environment only. Now here in this lesson they have given a story of a few students which are there, the school children are there, and what happened after the vacation, these children went back to the school, and what they saw that just next to their school the playground was there. It was everywhere, the greenery was there in that playground, but now the playground was dug up, the mud has been taken out, there was no greenery at all. So when it was asked, so the students came to know that it was dug up to make a building over there. So in the assembly also, principal sir very sadly he said that, see how our environment is changing. So when listening to this question, when the children came back in the class, Ravi, one of the students, asked the teacher, what is environment? So teacher gave the answer to Ravi question that whatever we see in our surrounding is environment. It can include anything, whatever the objects which are there. For example, the monuments are there, rivers are there, trees are there, animals, and others made by the people, such as roads are there, cars, clothes, books. Each and everything is a part of environment. Now other side you can see they have given the definition of what is environment also. Environment is our basic life support system. It provides us everything, the oxygen or the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we eat, the place where we live. Each and everything is a part of environment only. But what happening, slowly the environment is getting changed, and who are changing this environment? The humans are changing this environment for their betterment, and for them all the facilities which they want, they are slowly started changing the environment in a different way. And this way what they are doing, they are polluting also. How they are polluting? Like the car fumes which come, that is the problem. And even they are polluting the water also. They were cutting the trees minimize the level of oxygen on the earth also. That is also very dangerous, because we all the living thing need oxygen, especially we human beings are dependent on the trees to get the oxygen. So if the trees won't be there, we won't get the oxygen and we won't be able to survive in this world. So that's why it is very necessary that we should plant the trees, that which you all are doing in your environment activity, that the teacher told you to plant a tree and you all are planting it very nicely and very actively, and this you have to continue throughout your life, that you should try to plant more and more trees and never cut the trees. Now coming back to the lesson, the environment which is there are different components of environment. Some are natural, some are human made, and some are human. Now in the natural components of environment, you can see lithosphere is there, atmosphere is there, hydrosphere is there, and biosphere is there. Now what are these, that we will see in detail. And the other side, the human made, which is there, that is made by the human, which is a part of environment, is buildings, parks, bridges, roads, industries, and monuments. These all are a parts of human made environment. And other side, the humans are there, which is also a component of environment, like individual, family, community, religion, and educational, economic, political situation. All these are a component of environment. Either it's a natural, human made, or human only. This all together form the environment. Now in this environment also, the things which are there, they are categorized into two category, like living things, non-living things. So they are called as biotic and abiotic also. Biotic things are the world of living organism. All the living organism are called the biotic. And the non-living organ, what is living organism, that you all know very well. Living organism means the things which needs the oxygen to survive. They all comes under the category of living organism, and they are called the biotic also. And the non-living things which are there, living things are called biotic, non-living things are called abiotic. That means they don't need the oxygen to survive. Now in details we will see what are the components of environment that we saw. First we will focus on the natural components of environment. In the natural components of environment, there are four components. So first we will go through each and every one by one. The first one is lithosphere. Lithosphere, in the picture also you can see the land part which is there. So basically lithosphere is a layer of the earth. It's a solid hard layer which is covered by the soil also, and it is made up of soil and everything. And the people are living over there, the people are forming their settlements over there, people are doing the agriculture over there. And the apart from that, what the people are doing, they are using it for different purpose. Now the earth surface which is there, it is not same everywhere. Like if you see the land, it is not same everywhere. Somewhere the high mountains are there, hills are there, somewhere the plains are there, the plain roads are there, and somewhere the valleys are there. So the level is up and down, and below the earth surface also, the normal earth surface. So what it is actually, that the different layers of different types of earth surface which is there, which is useful for the people. And how it is useful, as I said, the people are doing the agriculture over there, people are building their settlements over there. Apart from building their settlements and everything, they are getting the minerals also. The different minerals which are there, it is inside the earth layer, which is very useful for the people. So and they are using it in their life for the different purposes. Okay. Now moving back to the second component of environment, that is the hydrosphere. Hydrosphere, as you can see in the picture, it is consist of the water layer bodies, water bodies you can see over there. So hydrosphere includes all the water bodies. It can be lake also, river, seas, ocean, pond. Wherever the water is available as a source, that comes under hydrosphere. And the people are using it. It is useful for all the living organism, because all the living organism need water. Like oxygen they need the water also to survive. So they all are dependent on this hydrosphere to survive. The next we have is atmosphere. Atmosphere, you can see the blue sky they have given over there. So that blue sky means the air which is present over there. And air is very important for all us to breathe. Without air, we feel suffocated and we will die very soon because of lack of oxygen or because lack of air. So that is also a very important part of our life, the atmosphere which is there. Now, what the atmosphere used to do, it used to hold the UV rays, the ultraviolet rays, which are very harmful for us. It holds the UV rays and even protect us from the direct heat of the sun as well. So this way it is very beneficial for us. And what it consists of, it consists of all the dust particles, the water vapors which are there, the gases which are there, and everything is present in the air. So when there is a change in that atmosphere, the climate changes. Like sometime it is very cold, sometime it is very hot, sometime it's rain also, the water vapor comes down, and sometimes hailstones are there which also comes down. So this is the different forms in which it comes down, the all the things which are available in the atmosphere, the gases, the dust particles, and the water vapors which are there, it comes in a different form to the earth, and the climate changes according to that. This is all about atmosphere. Now next we have is the biosphere. Biosphere is basically consist of the forest areas, all the trees and the animals they are living over there. It includes as a biosphere. So all the living kingdom of animal and trees together form biosphere. This all are about the four components of natural environment: lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, and biosphere. And now, what are they? We have saw just now. Moving to the next topic. Now, ecosystem. You know what is ecosystem? You can see in the picture the animals are there, the water is there, tree, flowers, and everything is there. Ecosystem is basically the interaction of all the living things with each other and even with the environment. That is called, they all together it is formed as ecosystem. So when the living things, when they are dependent on each other, they have the interaction with each other and even with the environment which is there, when they try to interact with that, so that is called the ecosystem. Now again the children's story is given. What they were discussing here is that in their NCC camp, Ravi, the boy which was there, when their class attend the NCC camp, in that group, one girl is there, Jessie. What she says that when she saw the heavy downpour, it reminds her of her native place, Kerala, where it was heavy downpour all the time, and everywhere the lush green fields and the coconut plantation was there. Now, listening to this, other girl, Hira, she belongs to Jaisalmer. What she said that we get no rains, we only see kikar and sand. And as far as the eye can see, but you also find camel, said Ravi. Ravi said, you can see the camel. So to say that, Hira said that we only don't see camels. We see the variety of snakes also, lizards and many insects are there. So that time Ravi wondered, why do the animals and the vegetation and the way people live vary from place to place? Are they related to each other? See, every places where we go in the different states or everywhere, the different people have the different lifestyle, the way they live is different. So the Ravi wonder why it is different, not only for the human beings, for the animals also. Even if you go to the different places, the vegetation is different. Vegetation in a sense, the tree which is planted is different. And why this is happening? Because of the climate suitable for that to grow over there. Even the animals also live as per the suitable environment only. We human being also prefer the suitable environment to live. So that's why different places it varies, the people those who are living over there, and they are the question is, are they all related to each other? Yes, they all are related to each other. They all are a part of ecosystem and they are dependent on each other somehow, so they all are related to each other, we can say. Now the all human plants, as I said, human beings, plants and animals, they all together dependent on each other for their survival. So this relation between all this living organism uh, and their surrounding form an ecosystem that we already saw. So it consists all. Ecosystem includes forest area also, grassland area, desert, mountain, lake, river, ocean, and even a small pond also. Do you think the park in which Ravi and his friends play formed an ecosystem? Yes, because children used to go over there to play. There is a rush, greenery was there. So not only the children used to go, but the other small insects and the small animals also used to go over there. So they are related with each other. They have the interaction with each other. So this way, there was a ecosystem in the park also. Now the next which is there, that is human environment. Human environment is something which was made by the humans. That's why it is called human environment. Till now we saw the natural environment. Natural environment, that is the natural things which are available in our environment, that is called the natural environment. Human environment is something which was formed by the human, like whatever the things we saw around ourselves, some are natural and some are made by the human. So that is as a part of human made environment. Now earlier when the people living their life, they lead a very simple life. They were living in the forest, hunting, and whatever the things are available, they are living their life on that only. They are not modifying the environment for their needs to be fulfilled. They are happy with whatever the way the environment is there. But slowly when the changes happen, what the people started doing, as their requirements are getting more and more, so they started growing. First they start with the cultivation of the crops. After cultivation of the crops, what they started doing, they started domesticating the animals. After domesticating the animal, they started living a settled life. Earlier, they used to live in the forest and they used to hunt. But after started doing the cultivation, they decided to live at one place only. So they started a settled life. So to live a settled life, they need the homes. So they started building their houses also with the different things which are available in the environment. With the animal skin, they build their houses with the stones, even with the leaf of the trees also they were started building their houses. This way they started the changes in the environment. After that, the big and most remarkable invention done by the man was the invention of wheel, which was very helpful for the people. The wheel they used for a different purpose. With the wheel, they started making the pots. So the utensils they were having, they started transporting by the wheel. So wheel was very useful for the people that time. And even the people use the barter system also. You can see in the picture also they have mentioned about the barter system. Barter system is like if you want to buy something. Nowadays we give the money to purchase something, but earlier the people don't have the money, so what they do, they used to exchange the things, like what you used to do with your siblings sometimes, that if you want a pen or pencil which she is having or he is having, you give your one thing to her and then take it from her. So this way you are exchanging your thing. That is called a barter system. So earlier the people used to do that, and they used to exchange the things with each other and they fulfill their needs. Now, after that, slowly, when the changes happened, industrial revolution was there. Industrial revolution means more industries were started, and people started working in the industry. They were started manufacturing the different things, and there was a large production. Now, when the industry started, they were making the different things. So there, they felt there is a need. What is the need? That they have to sell it in the market. Now to sell it in the market, they have to travel somewhere. So to travel, what they started doing, they started transportation started, since they already invented the wheel. So that wheel they started using for the transportation, and they were importing and exporting their goods and things. So this way the transport traveling was started. After that, again the revolution was there. That was also the remarkable one, that is the information revolution. Information technology revolution which was there, the people started the technology, and it made the people easier to communicate with each other. People across the world are easily communicating with each other. We all know very well the technology which we are using now to communicate with the people around the world. It becomes very easy for us because of the advanced technology only. Now also, since during this lockdown period, and we are not able to go out. We are using this technology to connect with each other, to communicate with each other, and to continue with our learning process. So this is also very important for us. So what are the human environment? But when all these changes were going on, when the humans are modifying the environment to fulfill their needs, somewhere it is good for the human beings, but what about environment? They are harming the environment. How? Because to industrial revolution which was there, they started making forming the industries. Now where they will form the industries? So they cut out the forest area, they cut down the trees, and they start the industries over there. So this way the trees level decreasing, and even in the forest area, the animals which were living, they also become homeless in this way. So this way it affects the animals and the trees over there which was there in that particular forest which was cut. So this way slowly human beings started harming the environment. Even the transportation which was started, when the people are traveling by the vehicle, so the fumes which comes from the vehicle, it pollutes air, and the air gets polluted, which is not good for us. So this way, when the human beings were trying to bring out the good changes in the society for the betterment of the human beings, but the same way it is harmful for the environment as well. Now one question is asked: have you ever thought why you love eating a juicy watermelon in summer and hot roasted peanuts in winter? A perfect balance is necessary between the natural and human environment. Humans must learn to live and use their environment in a harmonious way. Now, this is the request done at the end, that we should learn to adjust ourselves with the environment, and we should live in a harmonious way. We should not try to harm our environment to fulfill our needs, to fulfill whatever the demands we have. For our safety, for our betterment, when we are thinking that we should get a luxurious life, and for that we are doing the changes in our environment, but at the same time we have to take into consideration that, are we harming our environment, and is it good for us? The answer is no. We should not harm our environment. We should be careful. We should try to plant trees. We should try to not to pollute the air. We should make sure that not only the air but even the water also. So this is our responsibility as a human being, a part of this planet, that we should try to save our planet. As we know that day by day the temperature of the earth is increasing, a natural disaster is occurring one by one, global warming is there. Why this all happening? Because of the human made environment only. The human changes the environment, modifies the environment, and as a result all these things was happening. Now, one more girl is there. That the girl name is Noori, a girl from Mizoram from Ravi class. She often talks about the lush green surrounding of her place. Seeing Ravi upset at having lost his playground, Noori invited him to visit her home, stayed during the coming vacation. Ravi teacher asked the students to draw the landscape, houses and activities of the people and places they visit during the holidays. So Ravi, the place where he is living, it's a city area, and hardly he saw the greeneries over there. So he feels very sad. So that's why one of the girl, the classmate of Ravi, Noori, she belongs to Mizoram. She invited Ravi to visit to their native place. This is all about the environment lesson, in which we saw natural environment and human environment. Natural environment, we saw the four components of environment: lithosphere, biosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere. And in human made environment, that is made by the environment, how the man are modifying the environment and how it is harmful for human being. Now we will move to the next subject, that is political science. In political science, the lesson which was already done for you all in the month of April is equality. Equality means what? When all the people are treated equally, we consider it as a equality. So when the people all are treated equally, we have to think about this question: are all the people in our country treated equally? Do they all are same? for every treatment whatever they are getting. Now one example which they have given is, the people are standing in a queue over there to cast their vote for the election. When to cast their vote for the election, the people belong to different age, different category, they all are standing in one queue. As you can see, what teacher is there, the trader is there, student is there, then two domestic workers are there. They don't have the separate lines since they are the domestic worker, they all are in one line to cast their vote. This shows that they are equal. Our country or the constitution is giving them the equal chance to cast their vote, and they are getting the same importance like the teacher, trader and student. But this is about casting their votes. In the other spheres of life, are there people getting the equal opportunity like others are getting? That is the question. We will see how this happens. So this lesson, they have given the story of one domestic worker. The name is Kanta Devi. Through her story, the people are trying to show how the differentiation was there among the people on the basis of being rich or poor. Now we belong to the country India, that is a democratic country that we all know very well, and the democratic country has given us a right to equality. Constitution has given us a right to equality. That means we all are equal. There should not be any discrimination on the basis of the religion, caste, gender, economic background or the educational level. There should not be any differentiation. And even constitution has given us adult franchise, the right to vote. Once the person become 18 years, after that the person have the right to enjoy that adult franchise. That means the right to vote. They can choose a representative for the democratic country, and they become a part of forming the government also. Now coming back to the story of Kanta Devi, she is a domestic worker. She is working somewhere, but the place where she lives in the slums area, it was a very dirty area. There was no cleanliness at all, and her daughter is getting sick all the time because of this only. Very soon she was now the Kanta, she has to go for the work also, and she has to take her daughter to the hospital also. So what she did, first she went to the workplace and she work over there, and she demand for some money in advance to take her daughter to the hospital. Now Kanta went to the hospital and what she saw is that in the government hospital which was there was a big queue, and she has to wait for a long time for a number to come. And the girl, Kanta's daughter, was not feeling well, and she is not able to stand over there in a queue. So she think that time that the way I am getting treated now, did her memsab and where she was working is also getting treated equally? Then the answer is no, because they are economically, they are very good, they have lot of money. So what they do, they use their money and they get all the facilities. So here it is showing how the economically the people are treated unequally, rich people and the poor people. This is one example of inequality is shown here. Now apart from this inequality which is shown about Kanta, that many people, those who are living in in our democratic country, they are getting differentiated. They are being unequally treated because of their economical condition also. This is the one example they have given. Now apart from this, there are lot of examples of inequality. People all says that we all are equal, but when it comes to practice, they don't do it. As you can see here, that some advertisement was there. Advertisement, matrimonial advertisement actually. Here the educated people, they are looking for a girl or for a boy for their children, and when they are giving this advertisement, they have clearly mentioned over there, caste no bar. This they mentioned, but again they said SC and ST excuse. That means scheduled caste and scheduled tribes people, those who belong to the lower caste, they should not look for this advertisement only. They should not apply for this. They should not look after that. But they have mentioned caste no bar also. So why to mention that SC and ST also there? They are trying to do the caste discrimination of the people, which is not good. Since being educated people, then also they are doing the inequality. caste system which was there was a lot of caste discrimination in our country, especially in the rural areas. The people give more importance to their caste than to the human beings. The people likes to live with the people of their own caste only. They don't like to get in touch with the lower caste people, which they don't find it good. So this was the discrimination people was doing, and here we have some stories of the people, those who became the victim of this caste discrimination. One of the story is of Om Prakash Valmiki. He is a very famous Dalit writer, and he has written his autobiography. His autobiography means his own life story in a book which is called Jhotan. In his book, what he has written that he used to when he used to go for the school when he was in fourth standard. So there was a mat on which all the children used to sit. But by the time when the Om Prakash used to go and sit, they remove the mat and they don't let Om Prakash sit on that mat. So Om Prakash has to sit on the floor, and that is also behind, far away from all the children who are there. So Om Prakash has is treated unequally in the classroom also. The teacher even also didn't allow Om Prakash to sit along with the other friends. He has to sit alone, and even near the door he has to sit. This way Om Prakash was treated. But after some time, what happened? The headmaster of Om Prakash, what he didn't allow Om Prakash to sit in the classroom, but he gave him the work. What the work he gave to Om Prakash is that he has to sweep the classroom and even the playground, big playground. Just imagine, 4th standard means 9 years old boy. He has to clean his classroom as well as the big playground. With such a small physique, how the boy managed to do that? But he still do that because since his headmaster told him to do that, he was doing that. One day he cleaned everything. He got tired. He need the water, but teacher didn't allow him to drink the water as well. He he was having the back ache because of cleaning that. But then also the teacher didn't recognize that and didn't let him enter the class. And this was happening every day, one by one. This was happening every day. The Om Prakash has to do the same thing. Om Prakash didn't said anything to anybody, and he was continuing with his work. But suddenly what happened one day, Om Prakash father was just passing by the school and he saw his son doing that. So he got very angry. But what he said to the teacher that you are a teacher, so I am leaving now, but remember this much master, he will study right here. And in this way father take the boy to the home. This is show one example of inequality, the caste discrimination which is there. It was done by the teacher only. A teacher, educated person is doing that discrimination, and the same thing he is teaching to his children also, to his students also, who are there in the class. Now there is a question. Why do you think Om Prakash Valmiki was being treated unequally by his teacher and his classmates? By the story, we easily came to know that because since maybe he belonged to the lower caste, that's why he was treated like this. He was a Dalit boy, that's why. Now, another story which is there, which we will see, it's a story of couple, Mr. and Mrs. Ansari. Mr. and Mrs. Ansari, they moved to another city, and they were looking for a house to an apartment in on rent to live in that city. So they contact one property dealer to look for an apartment. So that property dealer took the couple to show the different apartments which were there. So they went to one place. Mr. and Mrs. Ansari liked the apartment very well. They were ready to pay the money for that apartment also for the rent. And by the time that landlady came, and when she came to know about their names as Mr. and Mrs. Ansari, she denied to give them the apartment only. And what the excuse she gave is that in this building only the vegetarian peoples are living, the non-vegetarians are not allowed in this building. Mr. and Mrs. Ansari and that property dealer also get shocked. Why? Because just from the next apartment of that same building, they can smell the fish cooking. The aroma of the fish cooking was coming. So they get shocked and they move from that place, and they went to the other places. So wherever this couple was going for to look for the apartment, the same treatment they were getting everywhere. Nobody was ready to give them the apartment for the rent also. So what the property dealer suggested, that it is better you change your name only. Instead of Mr. and Mrs. Ansari, you change your name and Mr. as Mr. and Mrs. Kumar. The Ansari couple was not ready to do that. They don't want to change their name, and they continue with their search for the house, for the apartment. And it took them for a whole month to look for the apartment. And finally, after a 1 month, one landlady was there who was ready to give them the apartment for the rent. This is also one kind of a discrimination we saw on the basis of the religion. The people are discriminated here. Mr. and Mrs. Ansari, since they belong to a Muslim community, belong to that particular region, the people differentiated them and they were denying to give them the apartment also. They don't want the couple to live along with them in that same building. Now, why do you think the Ansaris were being treated unequally? Maybe the people have the thinking about their religion. The people don't want to live with the people belonging to Muslim community that Mr. and Mrs. Ansari belongs to. That's why they were treating unequally. Now, what would you do if you were in the Ansari's position and could not find a place to live, because some people did not want to live next to you because of the religion you practice? Now, if you were at the place of Ansaris, what you are going to do? Like what the property dealer suggested, that to change the name. So, if you were at the place of Ansaris, you think that you will change your names to get the home. Now, by going through this stories of Om Prakash Valmiki and Mr. and Mrs. Ansari, what we came to know about the inequality which was practiced in our country by the different people. And being a educated or the citizen of our country, in our future we have to make sure that we should not treat the people unequally on the basis of whatever the things which are there. Since we belong to the city area, especially, we never discriminate the people. We all considered that we all are equal. There was no bar between us, like there was no caste, religion, community, color, social and economic background, the educational background. We don't consider all the things, and we treated all the people equally, which we are supposed to do, because what our constitution says, that being a citizen of the country, whether we are male, female, educated, uneducated, rich, poor, belong to any religion or caste, we all are equal. The whatever the rights has been given by the constitution, it is given equally to all the people. So why we should discriminate the people on the basis of different things? This is all about our thinking, which we have to change. And not only our thinking, I would say, the people thinking around us, the people, those who are living around us, if they have such thinking of discriminating the people in this way, we should try to change the thinking of the people, and we should try to abolish this inequality from the society. And then we can live in a very harmonious way, and we can enjoy our right. There was a gender discrimination also, even in the family, in the society, about the male and female. Like, boys are getting more opportunities and the more facilities as compared to the girl. And even we are living in the male dominion society. The male are considered to be very dominant. They are considered themselves as a very authoritative person, and they are supposed to take all the decision of the family, and they don't consider female as a part of it, since female are should be treated equally and they should get the equal opportunity. But this was not happening in many families. So that also should be abolished, and the girl and the boy should be treated equally in the society, because they both are very important part of our society. Now you can see this Parliament House picture was there. Now, why this picture is given, to show that Parliament House is actually what? Here, the members which are there, the member of legislative assemblies are there, MLA which we call, and the ministers which are there, they all are a part of this house. And how they become the part of this house? Because we have elected them. During elections, when we cast our vote to them, they become a part of this parliament. Now, what they tries to do? This is the duty of this member, that they should see to it that all the malpractices should not be there in our society. Like, the caste discrimination was there, the other discrimination, whatever the kind of a discrimination and inequality is there, that should not be there in the society. And for that, what they are doing, they are trying to make the different plans for it, to work on it, different plans which are there, through which they try to bring the changes in the country, and they try to change the thinking of the people. Now, one of the example of the such a plan which they have started is, that is the midday meal. Midday meal program is actually started by the government, and it was said to all the state government to start this. First, it was started in Tamil Nadu state, and after that, it was started in Supreme Court asked all the state government to start this program in their states. In 2001, first it was started. Now, what is midday meal? Midday meal is actually when the children are going to school, the government used to provide them the free food of for one time in the school. So the children don't have to carry the tiffins with them. The government is providing the free food to them in the school only. Now, why this midday meal was started? To abolish the discrimination of the children on the basis of their economic condition, on the basis of their caste and everything. That what the government is trying to show, that the midday meal program which they have started, where they are treating all the people equally, and they are giving all the facilities to the people. And in this way, what happened, the poor people, children, those who belong to the poor family, they are getting the proper food to eat, their health is improving, and their parents, those who are working on the different field, they also don't have to worry about their children food also. This way they are living in a very harmonious way their life. So this is one example of the plan started by our government to improve the condition of the people and to abolish inequality from our country. Now this is all what we saw about our country. Now we will think that, do you think this inequality is only in our country, not in the other states? So we are wrong. Inequality is everywhere around the world. Everywhere the people are treated unequally. Like for example, if you know United States of America, which is there, it's the country which is there, it's people are very educated over there, but still their thinking is different. The people discriminate over there on the basis of their color, like white people and black people. White people are more dominant, and they are getting all the facilities, and they are trying to uh, rule over the black people. Black people are actually African American people, those who are living over there. They are not getting the equal rights like the white people of the Americans they are getting. What the white people think, that they are the actual citizens of the country, and they should enjoy all the rights, and the African American, that is the black people, don't have any right over there. So this was the situation. But one incident happened, that on 1st December 1955, one lady was there, Rosa Parks. She was an African American woman. One day when she was coming from her work, she was very tired, and she was sitting in the bus, sitting on a seat. Then one white man came and demanded for the seat, and she refused to give it, because white people used to give them the orders and they should follow that. And Rosa Parks denied to give the seat. And that incident was a remarkable, because after that incident, there the civil rights started, the civil right movement started for the 1964, where the people were started getting the equal rights. We talk about the human rights which was there. So that human rights movement started from there, and the people, being the humans, are getting all the rights. This way, we all people enjoy our rights, civil rights of Act of 1964, which was there. You can see in the picture also, the lady Rosa Parks was there. She was sitting in the bus, and she denied with the seat which was there, that she denied to give it to the white people. This is all about equality and inequality in the society or around the world we saw. And we, as a student, as an educated person, what we supposed to do, that wherever we saw this kind of a inequality, the practice by the other people, not by us, so we should try to stop that. We should try to tell the people that we all are equal, and we should be treated equally by all the people. Now this is one article, Article 15 of the Indian Constitution, which is given. And what the Constitution mentioned, that no state or no citizen can discriminate and the other people on the basis of their race, caste, gender, place of birth, or any of them. Now people have the access, all the people have the access to all the shops, the public facilities, the hotels, the restaurant, all the public facilities which are available, it's available for all the people around the country, because the people all are same. Now when the people are treating unequally, it's a challenge for democratic country, and we should try to stop that inequality in our country. Now thank you for this. Next, in our next class, we are going to see the, we will go through the next lesson. Thank you.